What's up? This is DJ Immortal, director of the Scratch DJ Academy in Miami, member of the Universal Zulu Nation of Miami, and Miami bass representative.
What's going on? What are you involved with now?
I teach DJing for the past 10 years here in Miami. I've been teaching DJing, teaching the art of turntablism, mixing all genres. So I try to just pass on the knowledge that I've learned here throughout the years just to the next generation of DJs. At Scratch, it was actually founded by Jam Master Jay back in 2002. Now we have schools in New York, California, Miami, Chicago, and we've just been going strong ever since. For the past 10 years, just teaching DJing in this art form in Miami.
Where did you pick up your techniques of DJing and scratching and stuff like that?
I mean, mostly all of my influences come from the early guys from Miami, all the Miami bass, breaks, all that. Miami's always had its own sound, from the beginning, from the early Latin and Cuban influences to the freestyle and the electronic and the breaks, and the scratching and everything. Miami's just always had so much flavor, such a unique sound, just diverse, just so many different cultures just meshing here. It's just created this music. So that was just a huge influence for me, just to come to Miami and see this.
From where might I ask?
Well, I'm originally from New York, so
Okay.
I moved to Miami when I was about 10 years old in 1990. Came to Miami, and when I came here, I just heard this music for the first time. I heard Magic Mike, and DJ Laz, and some of this stuff, and all this scratching and this bass music, and just this totally new sound I had never heard before. Back in New York, I just knew all the 80s bands and the hair bands and stuff like that, and then of course Run DMC, and, Beastie Boys, Fat Boys, things like that. Definitely New York hip hop. And then coming here, it's almost like I never even really knew what bass was until I came to Miami, and then I was like, oh, that kind of bass. I get it now. I had obviously knew a bass guitar or something like that, but to hear this grimy hardcore bass just totally driving the music, it was just insane to see the differences between New York and what was going on in Miami at the time. So just coming here, back then, kind of when I got here, you were a basser or you were a metalhead. That was kind of how it was in middle school for me. So half the kids had bass lines shaved in their heads and were just bass fanatics. With the clothes and the dance moves and everything, it was just all about bass and booty music and whatever you want to call it. And then all the other kids were Metallica and rockers. So you were kind of a basser or a metalhead in my school when I moved here. So it was kind of different for me. And I liked a little bit of everything, but the bass was just amazing. Watching the shows. I remember one of my first memories of Miami is being here right when I first moved in here. I was just laying on a tube in a wave pool at Six Flags Atlantis in Miami, and just watching DJ Laz, Phil Money Jones, some of these guys cutting it up, and I was just looking up there, and I was just like, man, this is insane. All the people in Miami just loving it, and these guys were just killing it on the cut. And I had never seen scratching like that before, and I'm just looking, I'm like, man, that's what I want to do. I definitely want to do that. I love this music. I've just been in love with scratching ever since.
Some of your favorite DJs? Scratching DJs. Between mixer and scratch.
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved the original turntablists, the Executioners and Scratch Pickles, guys like that. I've always been Craze. I'm a huge fan of DJ Craze, back then and now. One of my early influences, Exotic E, Corey Styles, some of the guys that really I learned a lot from just coming out. Jealous J, Jock D, like I said, Magic Mike, DJ Laz, all that whole era of DJs. Really, man, everyone was good. Everyone just had so much skill, and everyone could scratch too. It was just those guys that really, I wouldn't be scratching really, or a lot of us I don't think would be scratching, and I don't think the music in Miami would have evolved to what it is now if it wasn't for that era.
Now, we coming from that era, look at you and we consider you, of course, the newer generation of DJing and stuff like that here in South Florida, and we, notice that you bring in another generation of South Florida. What does she feel about music in South Florida and things like that? Her as a, growing up and
Yeah, I
stuff like
mean,
that.
it's constantly changing, Like I said, even like in like 96 or so when like the rave scene really hit, well for me it did down here, and just hearing like the techno breaks. Miami even had its own like, very distinct style of like electro breaks and techno as well. And just that hitting, that just took over everyone. Like everyone, went from like the hip hop and the alternative rock just straight to like the raves and the clubs, hit very quickly. And then the drum and bass scene, like Soul Providers and all those guys, and a lot of guys in Palm Beach, just that drum and bass scene, jungle scene, really hit too. It just seemed like there was just something going on in Florida, all the counties, that wasn't really happening anywhere else in the world. And I realize that even more now that I'm older. At the time, you didn't know, um, but it definitely seems like what was happening at that time. I look back now, it's just like definitely changed music. It seems like Miami's always been pushing a different style of every genre, like kind of its own like version of every genre. Definitely bass heavy, and just all these kind of styles that we incorporate with everything. And just the music now, it's just like the kids now, like my daughter, she likes the dubstep and some of the new stuff that's out right now.
Yeah, what's your name again?
Sage.
Sage. What do you like? What's going on out there in the music scene? What do you like? Come on, the camera's not even rolling. Talk to me
Just
like
tell them what do you like.
anything's normal. What do you like?
I don't know.
You think your dad is
Skrillex.
Skrillex?
Yeah.
What kind of music is that?
Dubstep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like your dad's DJing?
Yes.
One day, would you like to learn some of that stuff?
I really do.
Oh, you already do, huh?
She scratches a little bit. Yeah, she cuts it up. She's got turntables in her room. She's been DJing since she was born. She grew up at Scratch Academy, so she she does her thing. But she's into like the new music. She likes a lot of like the top 40 stuff. But she likes the dubstep and some of the new styles of like electronic music. And like I said, without the Miami bass and some of the early like Miami electro breaks and just that whole sound, I don't think there would be any like dubstep or all these different genres that there is now without those.
Trap.
Yeah, without those fundamentals.
Right.
Now it's like it's totally different now, but it's good. It's just music's constantly growing, and like I like a lot of the stuff that she likes too now. Some of the stuff not so much, and then some of the stuff I show her from back in my era, she, you like this? What is this? Like, so it's some songs we both love, and then some stuff it's like way off.
You got any final words that you want to sign off with?
Just representing for Miami, and just wanted to come here and be a part of this, and represent, with Jock D and these guys. They asked me to, say a few words on the film, and I couldn't miss the chance to be a part of history really. And definitely, just if anything, I just want to thank those guys, like Jock D and some of the pioneers of this music, really for doing what they did. And I'm just lucky to have moved here at the right time, and just got introduced to all this stuff right at the right time, and totally changed my life. And I've been like DJing, practicing every day since. So if it wasn't for those guys and just the moves they were making at those times, like everything would be a lot different. So all I could say is thank you.